The story of Manasseh and Ephraim is narrated in the Bible, in the book of Genesis. In chapter 41, we find the accounts of the births of Manasseh and Ephraim. In chapter 48, we see Jacob, the boy's grandfather, blessing his two grandsons. In this video, you will learn everything the Bible reveals about Manasseh and Ephraim. But before we begin, if you are not yet subscribed to our channel, we invite you to subscribe now and give us a like so you can be notified whenever a new video is posted here. In ancient Egypt, Joseph, son of Jacob, rose to a position of great influence, becoming the governor, second only to Pharaoh. Joseph's life changed drastically when he married Asenath, the daughter of Potipherah, priest of On. This marriage not only united two different cultures, but also resulted in two sons who would be very important to the history of the Israelites: Manasseh and Ephraim. Manasseh and Ephraim were born during a period of prosperity in Egypt, before a great famine struck the region. Manasseh, whose name means "he who causes to forget," symbolized for Joseph the overcoming of his past hardships and sorrows. Ephraim, whose name means "twice fruitful," represented the prosperity and blessings Joseph had received, even in a foreign land. These two brothers played a crucial role in the history of the Israelites. When their grandfather Jacob was near death, he decided to adopt them as his own sons, giving them the same status as his sons Reuben and Simeon. This meant that Manasseh and Ephraim would become the founders of 2 of the 12 tribes of Israel. This special adoption by Jacob ensured that Manasseh and Ephraim received a significant portion of the inheritance and the blessings promised to the family. As leaders of the tribes that bore their names, Manasseh and Ephraim helped shape the future of the Israelites, ensuring that Joseph's legacy endured for many generations. The births of Manasseh and Ephraim are recorded in the book of Genesis, chapters 41 and 48. These sons of Joseph and Asenath not only enriched the family but also carried deep meanings in their names. Manasseh, whose name means "he who causes to forget," was born before a great crisis struck Egypt. Joseph chose this name because he felt that God had helped him forget all his difficulties and the suffering in his father's house. Manasseh symbolized a new beginning and the overcoming of Joseph's past pains. Ephraim, whose name means fertility or twice fruitful, was born during the 7 years of abundance in Egypt. Joseph chose this name to reflect how he had been blessed and prospered, even in a land where he initially faced great challenges. Ephraim represented prosperity and God's blessing in Joseph's life, highlighting the fruitfulness and multiplication of divine blessings. These names were not just words. They carried stories of overcoming and blessing, reflecting Joseph's experiences and gratitude. Manasseh and Ephraim grew up with these significations, being remembered not only as the sons of a powerful governor but as important figures in the legacy of the Israelites. At the end of his life, Jacob, the patriarch of Israel, was on his deathbed, ready to give his final blessings. He called his beloved son Joseph and asked him to bring his grandsons, Manasseh and Ephraim. These boys were not just grandsons to Jacob. They represented the continuity of his promises and hopes. Reuben and Simeon, Jacob's first sons, lost their birthright due to their sins. Reuben had dishonored his father by sleeping with one of his concubines, and Simeon, along with Levi, committed an extreme act of violence against an entire city. Because of these acts, Jacob decided to pass the birthright to Joseph's sons. When Joseph brought Manasseh and Ephraim, Jacob, with eyes weary from age, crossed his hands to bless them. He placed his right hand on Ephraim, the younger, and his left hand on Manasseh, the older. Joseph tried to correct his father, but Jacob insisted, saying that Ephraim would be greater than Manasseh. With this blessing, Jacob officially welcomed Manasseh and Ephraim as his own sons, granting them the same status as his other sons. They received a double portion of the inheritance, a privilege normally reserved for the firstborn. In this way, Manasseh and Ephraim became leaders of two tribes of Israel, ensuring that Joseph's legacy and the promises made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob remained alive through the generations. This special adoption and blessing ensured that Manasseh and Ephraim played a central role in the history and future of the Israelite people. The Bible describes an emotional encounter between Jacob and Joseph, who brought his sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, with him. This moment was special because Jacob was about to bless his grandsons, ensuring the continuity of the family's lineage and blessings. When Joseph arrived with the boys, Jacob, already old and with weakened vision, made an effort to sit up in bed. With eyes full of love and wisdom, he asked Joseph to bring Manasseh and Ephraim closer. Joseph positioned Manasseh, the older, to Jacob's right and Ephraim, the younger, to his left, expecting the greater blessing to be given to the firstborn. Surprisingly, Jacob crossed his hands, placing his right hand on Ephraim's head and his left hand on Manasseh's. Joseph, noticing his father's unusual gesture, tried to intervene, lifting Jacob's hand to correct the position so that Manasseh, the firstborn, would receive the principal blessing. However, Jacob maintained his position. Firmly, he explained to Joseph that although Manasseh was the older, Ephraim would be greater in the future. Jacob foresaw that Ephraim's descendants would be more significant and prominent than Manasseh's. Jacob's gesture was not just a matter of physical positioning, but a prophetic message about the destiny of his grandsons. Through this action, Jacob conferred a special blessing on Ephraim, ensuring that he and his descendants would have a more significant role in Israel's history. Manasseh was also blessed, but Jacob's crossed hands symbolized an important shift in the hierarchy of blessings. Thus, Ephraim's future prominence was established, reflecting Jacob's wisdom and prophetic vision for his family's future. Manasseh and Ephraim, sons of Joseph, played essential roles in the history of the Israelites as founding leaders of two of the 12 tribes of Israel. Their tribes, which bore their names, became pillars in the structure of the Israelite nation, each with its territory, responsibilities, and contributions to the people of Israel. The importance of Manasseh and Ephraim is highlighted by the fact that Jacob adopted them as his own sons, granting them the same status as his legitimate children. This ensured that the tribes of Manasseh and Ephraim received a significant inheritance and became an integral part of the formation of the people of Israel. It is crucial to distinguish Manasseh, the son of Joseph, from another Manasseh mentioned in the Bible, King Manasseh, the son of King Hezekiah. The latter lived many centuries later and was known for his controversial reign in Judah, marked by idolatrous practices and complex political decisions. Manasseh, the son of Joseph, is remembered as one of the patriarchs of the tribes of Israel, whereas King Manasseh is a distinct and later figure in biblical history. In the Book of Chronicles, we find a list of Ephraim's descendants, highlighting the lineage that led to Joshua, the famous leader who succeeded Moses and led the Israelites into the Promised Land. Joshua is one of the most notable descendants of Ephraim, known for his unwavering faith and leadership during the conquest of Canaan. The list of Ephraim's descendants includes names like Ezer and Elid, who died trying to steal cattle from the men of Gath, and Zelophehad, who had only daughters, mentioned in the Bible for claiming an inheritance. These stories illustrate the complexity and diversity of Ephraim's lineage. The legacy of Manasseh and Ephraim is a living testimony to the blessings and promises fulfilled by Jacob. The tribes they founded not only contributed to the growth and strengthening of Israel, but also perpetuated the spiritual and cultural legacy passed down by Jacob to his descendants. Thus, they ensured that the divine promises made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob continued to be fulfilled throughout the generations. The story of Manasseh and Ephraim is a rich narrative of faith, heritage, and promise. Both sons of Joseph received significant blessings from their grandfather Jacob, but it was Ephraim who was destined for greater prominence. Jacob, with his prophetic vision, foresaw that Ephraim's descendants would surpass those of Manasseh, and this prediction came true throughout Israel's history. While the tribe of Manasseh played a significant role, Ephraim's tribe stood out even more, especially with notable figures like Joshua, the leader who guided the Israelites into the Promised Land. If you enjoyed this video and the rich history of Manasseh and Ephraim, we invite you to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like and share this video with your friends and family so that more people can learn about these fascinating biblical figures. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you in our next video. May God bless you and your family. Until next time.